Okay, so today I'm on Reddit and I was like, let me go look at some anime hot takes, controversial opinions, and let me give my opinion on them. If this is something that turns out to be enjoyable, just let me know and then I'll hop on another one, of course. But without further ado, let's hop onto it. Okay, so if I see some shit and it's about shows I don't know, I'm not gonna really comment on it, of course. But I saw this Sasageo overrated. Not gonna lie, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but every time I mention AOT to people, keep bringing up Sasageo, and I'm honestly gonna have to agree. I think Sasageo is a top 3, top 4 opening in Attack on Titan. All I hear to the best OP in anime general. I gotta be honest, it ain't it, Chief. See, okay, this person going a little bit overboard. It's not last place when we're talking about Attack on Titan openings, but it is overrated. And it's one of those that like sound good at first, and then you just hear it too many times, and then it loses its it loses that shine, it loses that flair that it had. But there are songs that don't, like My War. I've listened to that probably more times than Sasageo, and I'm not sick of it, because the whole Sasageo part, it just gets annoying over time. It does. It's not a bad song by any means. I still think it's top 3, somewhere around there, but it's not the best one. And as he said, definitely not the best in all of anime. People are definitely tripping with that one, so I would say that's a good take. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing spicy, but that's a good take. Okay, so this person says JoJo's Bizarre Adventures has better animation than Attack on Titan. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming they're just talking about Attack on Titan 1, 2, 3, seasons 1, 2, and 3. And realistically, I wouldn't say it's better. I would say they're equal. Because JoJo's has some great color action going on. They have a lot of great movements, and like, I would say season 1, 2, 3 of Attack on Titan is on the same tier as JoJo's part 4, 5. Realistically, I think there are different animation styles, but just all in all, I think you experience the same enjoyment in terms of animation from both shows. So I really don't think that's a hot take. I don't think that's a hot take at all. And then the person under said, no way JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is better than AOT. I could see that actually being the case. I personally don't agree with it, but I could see why people would say JoJo's is better than Attack on Titan. I would say that's more so of a hot take than the actual animation thing. Let's scroll through this thread. Let's see. Anime humor will never transition well into live action. I'm gonna have to agree. I'm definitely gonna have to agree with that, because it's like, you don't get the facial expressions. It's just not the same. It's very cheesy comedy when it's done in live action, because it's just, again, as they said, it's not the same. It's super cringe. I don't even like saying that word, but it really is. It's just like, it's not good. It's not good. This person looks like they said a lot. They said Claymore needs a remake, more closely follow the manga. I watched Claymore recently, and I would say it was actually a really good show for a certain amount of time, and then it kind of fell off. And I heard there was more. It ended really abruptly, and I could definitely agree in the case that it would need a remake, 100%. Kenshin, haven't read that or watched that. Attack on Titan is just an okay story with pretty visuals, too many attempts to surprise you with death and gore. See, that's a hot take, and that's a wrong take, because I don't see that. The story is not, I don't think it's an okay story, because you have to really think about it from like 2012, 2011, whenever it came out. I mean, me personally, and a lot of other people that I knew haven't seen a story like that, like nothing close to it. So that was like a new thing. That was a very original concept, which I'm sure was like, it took things from other stories or whatever and took inspiration from other stories, but at least to the public eye, the one that got popular, it was a very original concept, Attack on Titan. And I think the story is top tier. I really don't think it's an okay story. I would have to say that's I could get why that one would be a hotter take. Naruto should have just ended with Madara as the big bad. Yes and no. I mean, it's like, yes, in terms of like, if you just wanted Naruto to stop there. If you wanted to make Boruto, end it with Kaguya, and that's obviously what they did, so they could open up the whole Osuki thing and the karma and whatever else. So it really depends on which way you want to go. Do I care? I personally think Boruto has had great moments, so I'm fine with Kaguya being the last villain, but I could see why people wouldn't want it to be Kaguya. Because you have to think about it like this, right? Say they still decide to make Boruto, and then they left Madara as the last villain, and then started Boruto with like some shit with the Otsuki clan. It would be like, what's even going on? It would seem like they're really reaching at that point and just trying to come up with stuff. But since Kaguya was there in Naruto, the foundation was already set. so they could go from there and do something with Boruto. That's how I see it. Avatar: The Last Airbender is anime. I mean, it's a cartoon, but I would get just as much enjoyment from it as I would an anime. You know, that's kind of how I see it. It's a cartoon. I think. I don't know. We can call it a canime. How about that? Bleach should have just stopped after the Hueco Mundo arc, or at least used the Vassal instead of the damn Quincy's. I don't agree. I mean, I haven't read Thousand Year Blood War. I heard it's top tier, and that's all I care about, really. Tokyo Ghoul is another one that should have followed the manga. I agree with. I heard Tokyo Ghoul is top tier. This one says My Hero Academia is trash. That sounds like a hater. Honestly, I think My Hero is not the best, but My Hero has had some great moments where it shined, and I think everyone can agree that there have been some My Hero moments that have kind of gotten you out of your seat, like the Prominence burn with what's his face, Endeavor, and then with Hero Killer Stain, that whole sequence, and then Deku versus Todoroki, and then Deku versus Muscular. Like, there were some great moments, and it was animated great, and the music always gets you pumped, so it's not trash. It is not trash. Overall, it's constantly getting worse. Recently, it's been getting constantly worse, but I think it's about to pick up again. Okay, so this person said JoJo's Bizarre isn't good, it's just weird. I'm gonna have to disagree with that, obviously. If you've watched JoJo's in its entirety, definitely got some weird parts, but you have to realize it's like when shows step outside the box and they do some weird shit, a lot of the times, at least for me, I kind of appreciate it more because they're not afraid to just do the weird shit that people in real life sometimes do already, but just do behind the scenes, if that makes sense. So I mean, it makes it enjoyable for me. You know, there's some comedy aspects, there's some fucked up aspects, but there's comedy too, and it makes it good. This is a stupid take, though. There are no funny anime, none, even the ones specifically marketed as comedies. That is wrong, personally. And I mean, if you've watched my video, I'm sure you've heard me say many times, I don't laugh at anime, because I don't. There are a lot of anime that are not funny. And you could get a smile out of me sometimes, but there are a lot that are not funny. But there are also the select few that are, like Spy Family, actual comedy. I don't know, like, it's just you have to have a good concept, and that's really it. And then just good character emotions and dialogue and like mannerisms, and that's exactly what Spy Family has, using that as an example. And it is funny. That is a very, very funny show, and I've laughed at some other shows before, such as like season 2 beginning of Demon Slayer. They had really good comedy there too. The beginning of season 2 with Zenitsu and talking about Tengen's wives, that shit was funny. So I think anything can be funny, because this is not even just an anime question, I feel like, because this can apply to anything. I think anyone can find anything funny that is typically marketed as a comedy. This person said Demon Slayer is objectively mid, don't get me wrong, the fights are amazing and a masterclass on choreography, and the animation is top tier, but that's it. The anime kind of feels like a porno where the plot is written for the sake of the fight scene instead of the other way around. They get really lazy with everything else because they know what you came to see. I'm gonna have to say yes and no with that, because I think it's a very average plot, but I don't think it's done in a lazy way. I think it's done in a very average way. You know, I don't think it's a lazy plot. I think the characters are really thought out, and I think like the dialogue and like the direction they take is thought out, but it's just like there's nothing spectacular going on, such as Attack on Titan, for example, you know. But I will agree with the fact that the fights, top tier, and if they weren't animated the way it would be a very basic show, and it would not be as popular as it is today if that animation was not that good. But it also wouldn't be as popular if the characters weren't as good as they are. The characters are really thought out in such a simple way. Each of them are like different character traits, and they like each look different, each have like a different color palette, and people associate themselves with these characters so easily that like everyone likes a certain character, the viewer. So it's just like Demon Slayer overall is a very easy anime for literally anyone to get into, because it has the gore to where people who are like anime's childish, they can watch it and they'll be like, oh shit, this is like real shit, you know. And then it has comedy, it has action, it had like, you know, it marks off all of the boxes, but it just doesn't do any of those boxes in a super amazing way other than the animation, you know? So realistically, it would be like a B tier anime. This person said Camaro Ant Arc is horrible and genuinely boring. Beginning of it, I'm not gonna lie, it was ass. It was. I thought it was filler. When I saw an ant giving birth, a huge ass ant, might I add, I'm thinking, okay, we got 20 episodes of filler going on. But after a certain point, it becomes so good. There are some little bad parts, like the whole thing where they're running in the portal for like 30 hours or however fucking long, how many episodes that was annoying. The whole beginning was very boring, and I didn't want to watch it. I was kind of over it at that point when the whole beginning was happening, because it took them too long to kind of explain what was going on, considering they're just adding all these random animals. And when you see talking animals in anime, it typically means only one thing, as I said before: filler. Filler, 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 and that's exactly what I thought it was. But when you start to understand and grasp it, and you realize that like the Chimera ants are a what's it called, a species from the Dark Continent, which is a later arc that is supposed to be huge, and it's like they kind of infiltrated the real world. It's like, okay, now we're getting a little serious and it's getting spicy, and you really see what like some of these creatures are capable of. Because if you think about it, right, the Chimera ants are just a little part of the Dark Continent, and you see how strong Meruem gets. He gets absolutely ridiculous. So then that just shows you how strong the things over there are going to be, and how massive, if it ever gets animated, which hopefully it does, that whole Dark Continent arc will be. Okay, and I think I'm going to end the video off with this one. With this one right here. One Piece is genuinely bad for a really long time, and given the almost unlimited stream of good anime, it's not worth starting. It just takes too long to get good. Obviously, One Piece is older, you know, so it's gonna have an older style off the bat, and it's gonna be interesting, especially starting it in today's day and age, because it's gonna be different from anything else you've really watched if you are a new like gen watcher, and it will definitely be hard to get into, but it's not bad for a long time. I mean, it gets good fairly quickly. If you get explained the show properly and you go into it with the right mindset, it's not really even bad at all. You know, because I remember when I was watching it, I started when I was like 15, and I never was like, I'm gonna drop this show. There were times where like it would get boring, I would stop watching it, but I would always be like, I'm just gonna watch the show because I wanted to see more. You know, like they would introduce a new crewmate, and I would like see like on the thumbnail, like there's obviously like 7 other crew members, so it's like I'm gonna want to see how they acquire those crew members, or like just how you get to the level of punching Kaido from where they started, because I'm sure everyone who hasn't seen One Piece has seen a lot of newer One Piece clips. So just like when you start it and you see where it starts, you kind of want to know how the hell it goes from that to that, you know. And I don't think it needs to condense the amount of episodes, because I think that like the amount of episodes it is used, even though the pacing is bad sometimes, it could realistically be like 800 episodes instead of 1017. But I mean, it's the best piece of work anime wise that has been put out. You're just not getting a story like that in any other show, even if they're 100 plus episodes. The closest thing to it realistically for me, and this is just off straight potential, is Hunter x Hunter. I think Hunter x Hunter has potential, not in terms of length for One Piece, but in terms of overall world and just enjoyment. Hunter x Hunter's right there for me, because it feels different than Naruto and Bleach. While Naruto and Bleach are still top tier for me. Love me some Bleach. Don't even get me started on Bleach. I'll advocate for Bleach all day, every day. You know, I personally like Bleach a little bit more than Naruto. But, I mean, it's like One Piece is a whole different experience. And I try to tell people that, like, you are not going to get a show, anime-wise. You're not going to get a show, probably even like a normal show, honestly. But you're not going to get a show that does something like this, maybe even ever again. Like, I'm not gonna say it's definitely ever again, but it's like the way times have changed to go to like 24 episode seasons and do shit like that. I mean, there are stories that are super long, like manga stories, but even so, a lot of them don't even get finished. Like, nothing will ever be done the same way One Piece is being done right now. And if you could hop onto it and catch up and just be able to at least finish it while it's airing at the same time, or if you even want to read the manga, it's an experience that's like a once in a lifetime type of deal in terms of just watching anime. So all in all, if you get the opportunity to watch One Piece, please watch One Piece. I know people, it's a hard commitment at first. It's hard, but I'm telling you, once you get engaged and you start meeting all these different characters and you start to realize how vast the world is, it's like the best piece of fucking fiction you'll ever read. I can't even fucking, I got a voice crack, y'all. Yeah, time to end the video. But these were some Reddit hot takes, opinions, anime opinions, whatever you want to call it. If you like it, put it in the comments. I enjoy giving my opinion on stuff all the time, because I know that sometimes opinions enrage people, and seeing people comment about how my opinion is wrong is kind of funny to see sometimes. But I also like having an actual discussion about opinions and stuff. So I mean, if this was some good action, let me know. Subscribe to the channel. You know what time it is. But yeah, that's really it.